has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out. The bad seed, the burger, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up should do be. Yeah. Oh, woo, woo. Along with the Tutty and Tater King, the founder of the LC podcast, rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the Put It With the Golf Guru, Carver High this afternoon. Frank the Tank running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a midweek Where Do You Hurt Wednesday. We got the double shot with Morency in the first hour, second hour, the Prime Minister Cam Stewart live in Toronto, and then a double shot in the final hour. The coup de grace was Stewie. Keith Stewart from Read the Line with Carver High getting involved. The Schwab this week as they go back to Texas after Scheffler wins the PGA Championship. Can he win 3 in a row? I mean, the guy is on a wafer, a roll, a croissant, a wheat thin. I mean, he's got it all going, winning everything. Winning, what did he win? $3.4 million at Quail Hollow. The guy's just drowning in money. We have Brian Dayball today. A lot of day baseball, Carver High, and it's happening all over the show.
It really is. Plenty of day baseball here on a Wednesday. Yes, a golf Wednesday on C2C as we get ourselves going here today. Tons of day games. Let's start with the Reds and the Pirates. So the Buccos, after a win last night, trying to make it 2 in a row. They have a 3-1 lead as they go to the top of the 9th inning at PNC. So the Buccos looking to close it out. I'm going to guess they're going to bring your boy Bednar in to try and finish that off, finish this bagel off for the Pirates. We shall see. Elsewhere, Cubs and the Marlins, 1-1, top of the 7th inning in Miami. Both runs came in the first inning. Nobody has scored since. How about that? As they keep going. The Rays have a 5-2 lead over the Astros in Tampa. Lots of balls leaving the yard today. Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe, Meade homered for them. So 5-2, Rays with the lead in that one. They go to the bottom of the 7th in Milwaukee, 2-1. Brewers lead the Orioles on a Rhys Hoskins homer that just happened a few minutes ago. Tigers lead St. Louis 3-1. That's in the top of the 7th in St. Louis. And the Mariners got a first inning 3-run homer from Julio Rodriguez. And they are now in the bottom of the 3rd in a miserable day in Chicago. I mean, just miserable. And they have a 3-1 lead. And then they are finally finishing the Minnesota-Cleveland game from Monday night. They had that suspended game on Monday night. They're in the top of the 9th inning with the Twins up 5-3 on the Guardians. And then, Scotty, they're going to play another one, the actual game today, a few minutes after that, which will be Gavin Williams and Chris Paddock with the Twins there, minus $1.25.
Yeah, runners on second and third with 2 outs to try to a single would tie the game.
Single would tie the game for Cleveland if they were to get it. It looks like the great Bo Naylor is up right now for Cleveland, trying to get involved and make it there. So they're going to play that game. The other game, Twins-Guardians, coming up soon. And the only other afternoon game will start in about 40 minutes from now in San Francisco at Oracle. The rubber match, Giants and the Royals. Daniel Lynch and Logan Webb will go this afternoon with the Giants minus 210, plus $1.75 for the Royals, and a 7.5 total.
How about this kid Lynch, though? He's 3-0, and he's got a 1.2 ERA. And, Webb, the heavy favorite at home, Why not? The Rogie Vachon at plus $1.80. If you're going to give me that kid that hasn't lost a game yet, maybe he pulls off a miracle and they win that series. I think they won the first game of it, lost the second one yesterday.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Pirates. They lost the first game, and then they won 1-0 yesterday, and now trying to close it out and win that series and then start up another one at PNC tomorrow with the, I believe, Brewers in town for the holiday weekend. And by the way, it is just as miserable here as it is in Chicago. So they've got nothing on us as usual.
Well, and you're right about that. In fact, I have not even gotten the cancellation notice for the Cold Heels game tonight yet. They have not canceled
what are
yet.
they waiting for?
And I think it's because we've had so many rainouts already this season that they're trying to push the envelope and send the 7 and 8-year-old kids out in the 50-degree, 20-mile-per-hour wind and weather.
Freezing rain.
I think looking to get all the kids sick for Memorial Day weekend. So I haven't gotten the plug pulled on the Cold Heel game yet. We'll see if that happens in the next few hours. By the way, it's not Bednar today. The Pirates are going to try to go with Denny Santana to get the final outs here against the Reds, and he's already got one. So we'll see if he can get the other two and give it a Bucco win. A series win maybe for the Buccos here.
The Guardians tied it.
Wow, your boy Naylor came through. Our 2-run double for Naylor.
It's gone to the
5-5.
bottom of the ninth.
Bottom 9 for the Twins. Wow, they'll never get that other game going. They're just going to keep on playing there. So we have lots of afternoon baseball that we will be involved with here today. Plenty to watch. All right, and we'll go through all the NBA. Of course, last night, Oklahoma City really pulling away in the second half, Scotty, and never looking back. Close game for maybe 2.5 quarters, maybe even just a half. And then the Thunder just completely took care of business in the second half.
Well, I mean, I thought that the T-Wolves blew their chance at this game in the first half when they only led by 4 at the break with Shai Gilgeous shooting, 2 of 11 from the floor to start the game. And you got to stick a shank in their chest when you got a chance. I mean, Randall had 20, hit 5 of 6 threes. They should have been up by 10 or more at the half, but they weren't. And then because of that, I think in the second half, you saw the Thunder turn up the defense, ratchet it up. I thought Caruso was brilliant out on the perimeter. He'll take on whatever star player you want to put him on. He can guard Ant Edwards, he can guard anybody. And I think that, Shai went off. The guy ended up with 31, and he went to the line. Let's see how many times he went to the line. He had 14 free throws. There's all kinds of conspiracies out now that the refs are sending him to the line too much. You ever heard of Michael Jordan? Do you think he went to the line ever? I mean, every guy that's great that drives to the 10 goes to the line in the NBA. It's been going on for generations. I mean, who are you kidding?
It certainly has. It has been going on for generations. Lots of crying about the foul calls. We'll have game 1 tonight in New York City.
There was no ref involvement.
Their ass beat. There was no ref. You can't cry about the refs when you lose by 25 or whatever it was. You just can't. You can't talk about the refs.
About the refs. Like honestly, who are you kidding? They had every chance in the world to win that game in the first half. They should have gone up by 20. But instead, they were up 4, and you knew they were in trouble because, frankly, the Thunder, they weren't doing anything right. And then in the second half, they played like the Thunder. I mean, what I saw last night was all you need to see. It's all you need to see that they're going to win this series. They're just better. They're better defensively. They're better offensively. They got better players. Simple as that.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Derek Carr has called it a career after 11 NFL seasons.
I think they knew before the draft that they had to make a move at this point. And by the way, Derek Carr did have a pretty good career. Made as many Pro Bowls as Eli Manning. So based on that, he should go to the Hall of Fame like Eli Manning. Well, Eli Manning does have a couple rings at that point, but always wanted to take a shot at Manning, who should not actually be in the Hall of Fame. Shouldn't be questioned an under 500 quarterback for his career. Stop the man.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets, and we get a double shot with Morenzi every day here on Coast to Coast from Vancouver. You know, I found it something I didn't realize. I missed it, clearly. I didn't realize that the Canes had been swept 3 straight times in the conference finals. The only one I remember, because I have early for Alzheimer's, is that when they lost 2 years ago to the Panthers. I didn't remember that they had lost 3 straight. They have now lost 13 straight conference final games, and they got their ass beat last night on their home ice, and I'm sure their wives wouldn't even sleep with them. I mean, after that performance, they got smoked.
Should we even play the next 3 games, Scott? Like, it's over.
No.
Bro. It's done. Like, if I was like the commissioner, and I'd actually say to the Panthers, listen, you guys you've earned a 10-day rest. We've decided that you've already won the series. You're moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Unbelievable. And listen, not to defend the Toronto Maple Leafs too much, Scott, but to go back in time. But I tweeted last night, I said, hey, maybe the Leafs don't suck as much as everybody says they do, right? Florida doing the same thing to Carolina. Hell, Carolina got swept by them last time. Leafs took them to 7. Like Paul Maurice said after the game the other night in Toronto, and it patronized a lot of people, right? Like people were like, oh, just stop. Like, you're patronizing us. When he goes, you know, you guys are way too hard on this team. He goes, they just took us to 7, and we're a pretty good team, and we played well. And he goes, you guys just don't get it, essentially. Now you see Carolina just get steamrolled early. You could tell, Scott, it's absolutely paramount. And that's the thing with Frederik Andersen. He's not a star goalie. He can be good, but he can be shaky. And you got the shaky Andersen early in the game, and it was just game over. It's just, game, set, match. I told you yesterday, and I lost money again, Scott, betting against these son of a bitches. I said, I think Carolina will win game 1, but Florida will definitely win the series. So I'm an idiot. Why did I just take Florida?
I said the same thing.
Right? Like, I'm done. And I say all this, and I'm all ready to take Edmonton, like if they make it to the finals against Florida. But Florida, the real deal, bro. You know what's amazing about them too, Scott, if you'll notice? They just sort of, they're in your face. They're in your face. There's a lot of crashing and banging going on. There's not a lot of scoring chances. Like, that's the thing with the Florida Panthers that's frustrating if you play against them. You saw it against the Leafs. You saw it last night. So, like, the puck will be in the corner. You'll play 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and you're like, all right, these guys, all right, they're big, they're tough, but it's scoreless or we're hanging with them. So you're playing with them, and the puck just sort of bounces out, and they only need one chance, Scott, you'll notice. Like, a lot of Panther goals, they're not on these, like, when the Oilers score, it'll be like this flurry of, 50 seconds of, bang, boom, boom, bang, shot, shot, shot. And you're like, oh, my God, they're going to score. And then they score. The Panthers strike out of nowhere. It's like, there's nothing going on. The puck's in the corner. It bounces out into, into the face-off circle.
The Leafs when the Leafs made it 3-1, and then 47 seconds
just
later
boom.
under the elbow.
Yeah, but boom, just like that. And you're like, man, we're down again. It happened last night, Scott. Carolina scores. What does Florida do? They did the same thing to the Leafs. It's what good teams do, right? It's like football team. Yeah, you scored a touchdown. Yeah, we just scored a touchdown right away, too. We did it faster than you, right? Like, they break your will, Scott. It's like, oh, we're down 2-0. All right, man, we made it 2-1. Oh, no, now it's 3-1, right? Like, it never stops. They're relentless, these guys. Got to tip my cap to them. They're not the most exciting team to watch play, and it's kind of I thought it was a boring game. And, the NBA game, turned into the blowout that it did. The NBA game was better, I thought. But, Scott, tonight I'm ready to dance,
after the
baby.
Half, it wasn't. But, look, the Panthers had 7 penalties. They only shot 20 times. And
That's what I'm saying. They don't even, they don't get a lot of pressure, Scott. They just, they're like a soccer team where it's like, we only got 3 shots on goal, but we scored on all 3 of them,
But they had 4 power plays scored twice. I thought that early goal, the top shelf goal, when he flicked it up into the top of the net over Anderson's shoulder, I thought that was unbelievable. Some of the shots that they made, it's just crazy. And then, I'm watching this team and I'm like, God, they're just so much better than this other team.
And also, so they beat them, Scott, and also you see Gostisbehere loses it, right, and goes after Marchand after. That's going to win the series for you. That's what they want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they beat them in every facet of the game. Like, you know what I mean? You can lose a hockey game and not be broken psychologically about it. I think the Carolina Hurricanes were broken. Their will got broken last night. As you talked about, I mean, it has to be thought about now. I mean, it's just that people don't talk about it, right? I mean, if the Leafs lose 2 in a row, we know every stat. Oh, they were down for 6 minutes. Like, they're the Carolina Hurricanes. No one talks about them, Scott. It's like you said, we're like, damn, they lost 13 in a row now in conference finals games.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So Verhaeghe had that top shelf goal. Ekblad scored. And then you got goals from Luosterainen, Greer. Greer's made it 3-1. And then you had the Bennett goal as well, I think, on a power play. So, I mean, they get all these guys scoring goals. You're doomed.
I could be wrong now with the number. Like, it might be 18, but I'm pretty sure I think it's 17. There might have been another guy that scored last night, but it's up to like 17 different 18 guys that have scored in the playoffs for them. Like, that's unheard of, bro. You know what I mean? Like, most teams, like, all right, you need these 3-4 guys to score. You just rattle it off, bro. Defensemen, third liners, first liners, like everybody freaking scores on this team.
Guys even score. I don't even know who Greer is. Mike Greer, you remember him?
There's only 23 guys on the team, and 18 of them have scored. There's 2 goalies. Do the math here. It's like you got a problem when everybody scores. And it's not like they're all snipers. We're going to score a bunch of goals. No. I score here, you score here, and I'll score next week, and you score in 2 weeks. Like, real team effort. They're badasses. I'm sick of them, but they're badasses.
Who didn't have an assist? Verhaeghe had 1. Kachuk had 1. Rodriguez had 2. Nosek had 2. I mean, don't get me started on plus minus either. When we come back,
they don't care about stats.
The Oilers and Stars, game 1 tonight in Dallas, and the Knicks and Pacers with Morency.
buy or sell, Devers will be traded this season. Let's also not forget that there's $300 million on the table due to Devers, which eliminates him from, what would you say, like 17 teams?
Oh, I would think more than 17, maybe 27. That's a joke, but how many teams could afford him? All right, 5, 6. How many teams needed a third baseman who can't play third base? You know, how many people want to deal with his attitude? He hasn't come off looking good in any of this. Whether you believe he should have anyway, he doesn't look good at this. Will he be traded? No, he won't be traded. The salary alone makes it highly unlikely. He's a great hitter. All right, no doubt he can hit. But other than that, there's too many between the money and the attitude and no really position for him here. He's not getting dealt anytime soon.
Buy or sell, if the season ended today, Hunter Brown would win the American League Cy Young Award.
Hunter Brown has been fantastic. All right, the guy that Craig's teasing, by the way, is Tariq Skubal of the Detroit Tigers here, who's certainly right up there with them. Max Fried for the Yankees has had a fantastic season. They finally lost a start where he pitched in against Seattle the other day. They'd won every start. He's been fantastic. The season ended today with Hunter Brown winning the American Cy Young Award. I certainly couldn't argue it if he did. That being said, he's going up against Skubal, who won it last year, going up against Fried of the Yankees. My guess is that he'll need a year. You understand what I'm saying? He needs a year before he can get that kind of recognition if he's tied with somebody. If he's clearly ahead, then I think he would win here. But as of right now, would he win it? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it would be probably Max Fried.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Only on SportsGrid.
Frank just started a fight with Luke, like the Gostosphere Marchand fight last night back in the truck. They just started, and I think it was right at his ankles, a slap shot. Anyway,
I love it. A fight about who's a less exciting hockey clip, an interview.
Yeah. So we have breaking that the Islanders are trying to go after Brendan Shanahan, the Leafs president. And,
yeah, that's right.
I mean, he's done such a great job in Toronto. Why not bring him to Long Island? He can bring Tavares and Marner with him.
It doesn't make sense for anybody. Like it's just sort of shocking. This broke about 10 minutes ago. I'm not saying he's getting hired by them, but New York Islanders have sought permission from the Toronto Maple Leafs to speak with Shanahan. Shanahan has been, he's been pulling the strings with the Leafs, and I think it's time to move on. And I think people in Toronto, I think they're going to let him move on.
That's the easy way out.
Well, you know what? It's just I don't know if
Blame
he takes
him.
the Islander job though.
Just blame him and run with it.
Well, he doesn't get blamed, and it's baffling. He should get blamed. He doesn't get blamed.
They're gonna blame him.
No, the Toronto fans and media, they have misdirected rage all the time. Like they're running Mitch Marner out of town. He's their best player. Like you're blaming the guy. Like you know what I mean? They blame the wrong people. Austin Matthews blows. I mean, you talk about the Carolina Hurricanes sucking 13 games in a row. Austin Matthews has like 2 goals in 22 playoff games or whatever. Like he just disappears. I mean, so I don't know if that's on Shanahan, but listen, it's credibility for the Islanders, right? You know what I mean? The Islanders trying to get credibility. They had Lou Lamoriello, so it's clearly they like. And listen, the only people that recycle more than Greta Thunberg are NHL owners, okay? You know, once you're in the league, you're in the league for life. Like, you know what I mean? You can do a lot of stuff, and you're still in the league for life, right? So Shanahan, whatever, he's one of these lifers. The Islanders like credibility. Oh, we'll get credibility. I mean, Carver, will have a better take on it about me. But Shanahan, what did he do with the Leafs? And he also had endless funds to work with. The Islanders are a young team. Like, they're not a young team, but they should be a young team. And you're not signing a bunch of star players, with the Islanders. Seems to me that Shanahan's not the right guy there. But I'm saying this story broke, and it'll develop through the day.
So he hated me when I was good friends with Darren McCarty when he played with the Red Wings. And so I would go
I could see Shanahan hitting you.
So I went into the room. I'd always go into the room to see Darren, and he would
I
he
could see
literally
McCarty
right
liking
in front
you.
of my face, he would say, "Get him out.
Oh, you
Get
want?
out of
Yeah.
here.
Don't want to.
Get out. Get out. I don't care how your good friends go out and drink after. Get away. Get out of here." And I'd look at him, and McCarty'd be like, "Oh, F you, Brendan. What's your problem?" And he'd be like, "I will beat your ass." He said in my face, he said, "I will beat your ass. You
Is that what he
loudmouth."
said to you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. "I will beat your ass." And I looked at him, I'm like, and I looked at Darren, and Darren's like, "Yeah.
What
What's
did
your
I
problem?"
do?
Darren was a mess. He just partied so hard, and he just wanted to go to strip clubs. Anyway, who do you like tonight? With obviously you and I are on the Oilers. Game 1 in Dallas, I think anything goes here. They could lose this game. They've lost other game 1s certainly, but I just think they're a machine this season, and they got a big goal, and that's to beat the Panthers and take back that cup like the Penguins did from the Red Wings in 2009 after they lost to them in 2008.
What I like about the Oilers is, listen, if they get down in the game, they're not going to cry. If they get down in the series, they lose this game. It's not like the Canes. I don't think their will does not get broken. They came back from 3-0 down and sent it to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals last year. So we know they've got the heart. They've got the talent. The Stars are a great team. It's going to be a hell of a hockey game tonight. I can't wait to watch both these games. I'm more fired up like tonight than I was yesterday for the NBA and the NHL. But if I like the Oilers in the series, give me the Oilers tonight. The Oilers versus the Vegas Golden Knights, a lot of times, guys, this game started off slow, right? It'd be like, wow, it's really low scoring, 0-0, 1-0 only. And then, boom, next thing you know, it's 5-4. I think they come out flying tonight. I'm going to go over 1.5 for the first period tonight with the Oilers and Stars. I think they both score in the first period, and give me the Oilers plus 105. And sorry, New York, but I'm going to take the Indiana Pacers tonight at plus 4.5.
I'm taking that 4.5 as well. I'm scared to death of the Pacers. All they do is kryptonite the Knicks, stress me out. I'm going to be cussing all night, turning purple, throwing things, having my 34C yell at me. "Shut up down there! Turn it down!"
Let the stress begin.
My son and I are going to watch both of these games tonight. It's better than sex. All right, Morenzi, have a good show. Enjoy the games tonight, buddy. Love you.
Hey, good stuff.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division, to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series with a rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too strong a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
That is funny, Mike, that Gabe was saying in the break that, they were asking the fans in New York, who's more popular, the Yankees or the Knicks, and Judge or Brunson. I mean, are you kidding me? There's women and children that like the Yankees, and the same women and children wouldn't watch a Knick game if you paid them. The Knicks have just such a glorious history of losing. The Yankees have 27 World Championships. It's not even close.
It's not.
They're the biggest team in town and always have been in every sport combined.
Look, I know we kind of said this last week. We were talking about something with Judge. New York's a different type of town because, they're split with pretty much every sport. Mets, Yankees, Jets, Giants, Rangers, Islanders, Devils. Everyone's a Knick fan. There's really, Met and Yankee fans come together to root for the Knicks. Jet and Giant fans, what. But the difference is that Aaron Judge isn't just the biggest, star in New York sports. You can make a case. He's probably one of the top 2 in all of baseball, right? Him and Ohtani are the 2 biggest stars in the entire sport right now. So, that to me, and Jalen Brunson isn't. Jalen Brunson's awesome. He's not one of the 5 to 10 biggest stars in the NBA right now. He's not, and that's nothing against him. There's nothing wrong with that. But Judge is one of the 2 biggest stars in the entire game. That's
Listen,
a big deal.
LeBron and Luka are both more popular than Brunson. Right off the top. You don't even. They never talk about Brunson unless they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now they're talking about him. But where was all that all season long? They never talk about Jalen Brunson. But Jalen Brunson around here, they talk about him because everybody around here knows how much of a badass he is.
People are excited. Like you're talking about them putting the street signs up and they're doing all these things. Like, you got to remember, the Knicks haven't won since the early 70s. Like, it has been forever since the Knicks have won a championship. And in this town, right, it's just the same thing. It's like the Leafs. It's been decade over decade over decade. I'm 45, never in my lifetime. And when I was just saying how the whole city roots for them, and it's been that long since they've won, people are going to get excited. In the 90s, mid to late 90s, they had shots. They had a couple of finals appearances, and it didn't go through. And now this is the first time they're back in forever. So, yes, people are going to jump to conclusions, get excited, and they're going to go nuts. Yeah, it's over 50 years since they've won. So, yeah, people are going to fill the streets, and they're going to change street signs. And this is not me being an arrogant Yankee fan. The Yankees have won a lot. It's expected that the Yankees make the World Series. It's expected that they do these things. So they're not going to change street names every time the Yankees make it to the conference finals. That's they just don't do that.
That's right. They play for the pennant all the time.
Right. And again, it's not taking away anything. It's no knock on the Knicks. It's just that people are excited because it just doesn't happen. It hasn't happened often in the last 50 years. It just hasn't. So people are going to get excited, and that's fun. It gives a little buzz to the city.
I was 8 years old when they won their last title. I was 8 years old. I'm 60.
So 52 years ago.
Listen, I lived here for forever now, and all I've seen them is lose. That's it. That's all they've ever done is lose. They have never mattered, ever. So I don't want to hear it. Now all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, well, I know we're going to talk about it, but they have an absolute nightmare on their hands. Everyone thinks this is some walk in the park. People are tripping here because they're so gone on this team. They think it's automatic that they're playing for a chip. And they're going to have problems tonight. Like, do you think they're just going to roll through this team? You're imagining things.
No, this will be as we'll discuss, this will be a lengthy series. This series is going to have
attrition.
As all the Nick Pacer ones in my lifetime have had. And there have been a lot. There was a lot in the 90s, and now there's been a couple here over the last couple of years. So I do think that we're going to be in for some long distance.
And something else. Both teams that play in this East, they're going to lose to the Thunder.
You know, I'm starting to feel, you know, watching them in some of these games, like the 7th game against Denver, you know, the game last night in the second half, I do think that they're playing for second place. Like, it just kind of feels that way right now with how good Oklahoma City is.
Just like 99 when the Rockets beat their ass.
It almost feels like, I thought about this last night, you know, the Thunder have now had their scare, right? Denver was the spot that if they were going to go down, you know, Denver had him on the edge, had him in the 7th game, had a chance to take him out. Now that they got around that and they were able to climb that hill, it feels like now they might just steamroll everybody on their way to finishing off the job.
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of how it goes. Before I get to what they did last night, the Cubs have taken the lead on the Marlins now down in South Beach. 2-1 Cubbies here. Top of the 9th, and the Cubs have a man on second. The Rays have busted it open against the Astros. 8-4, bottom of the 8th in Tampa. The Orioles just got a couple of runs. They now lead the Brewers 3-2 in the top of the 9th in Milwaukee. And the White Sox got a couple home runs, and they lead the Seattle Mariners 4-3 in Chicago in
They're
the top
going
of
to win
the
that
6th.
series if they can win that game.
Very good. It's very possible. Very possible that they could. That's for sure. All right, let's talk about the Thunder from last night. 114-88. They take care of business. The fourth quarter was when they really ran away and put the game away on ESPN.
Backs in, tries to split the defense and lost the ball. Foul, bucket, count it, and one. Some shady sizzle here on the fourth. The lead is 13. Mason Wallace has it. On the drive, goes inside, throws it up, and Jalen Williams with the flush.
Listen, I'm going to go a different direction on this game. I thought it was just too easy because when I watched the game, what I saw was the same things I told you about yesterday. I said the one guy that they could get rid of on this team and no one would miss him would be DiVincenzo. I know everyone talks about how great he is, and they're just imagining things. Like, this guy went 3 of 14 from outside. He was 3 of 12 from deep. I mean, he was embarrassing. Naz Reid, 1 of 11, Asbury Park's finest. Alexander Walker, 3 of 11. And did I not say yesterday that Mike Conley was ass? 2 of 8 from the floor. You cannot have guys that have that much burn, that play that much, find their way out of a shooting slump in a conference final. Like, I mean, how many times is DiVincenzo going to shoot and miss? He missed 10 threes. Like, I was watching, and I said to my son, I go, this guy sucks. He's like, no way, man. He's got game. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know what he is to me? Like, and I listen, I think he's decent, but he's Austin Reeves. Remember how I told you in the Lakers series? I said, oh, let's just get the white guy out of here. We'll just take him right out of this. And the same thing here, like, oh, yeah, let this guy shoot, and then you'll win. Just you let this guy shoot, because he's a bricklayer. Same thing I said in the Warriors series. Give it to Draymond Green. He'll make 1 or 2, and then he'll miss 9. I mean, he's just terrible shooters. Like, you can't have 5 good players. And Mike Conley's a good point guard, but he can't shoot. I mean, for the most part, right? If someone's in his face, welcome to hell. The Thunder give no easy open looks. Those days are over, Romeo.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series where they rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too strong a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Frank just said in the break that my language was deplorable. He said that I was abusive in nature and just disgusting language, something like that. You heard him, Carver High, giving me the business. I mean, that's not a surprise to you. My language is it, Carver High? Like, that's a normal day. Like, Frank's got to get in the game here and understand how things work around here when I start swearing.
It's a normal day. Just going to have to deal with it. You got to roll with it. That's the way that it goes sometimes.
Is he going to turn me into HR with my language or something?
No, possible.
Frank,
you never know.
I left those smoke bombs for you for Friday in your locker.
Yeah,
Can you bring my tequila out, Frank, and my pills? Thanks, buddy.
Frank's ready for the Nick party down in 7th Avenue on Friday night.
You got the flares and smoke
game
bombs
number 2.
ready for the Euro soccer game down at the Garden.
The Mariners tied the White Sox, by the way. Cal Raleigh goes deep to tie the game at 4. So there you go with them. 4-4 game, top of the 6th in Chicago. All right, SGA had 31 points, 9 dimes, 5 boards, 3 steals. Big night for him. Here he is, as always, looking fresh. Your boy SGA.
Yeah, it's always a chess match out there. Like, you go out there, you have a base coverage, you have something that you want to start with, then you see how the game goes, and then you just read and react and adjust from there. They make a move, you make a move. Like, it's back and forth, and it's going to be like that throughout the series. They're a really good team. They'll make adjustments. They'll get better for sure. We have to continue to get better as well.
I mean, obviously he had a huge night, but that's just, frankly, a normal night for him. When doesn't he put up these types of numbers? He's going to get the MVP today. We're going to give him that award probably during the show or right after the show. So we'll just report it now. He's the MVP. And he's getting that award tonight, whenever. It's coming down the pike, believe me. But the thing that gets me going is this conspiracy about him getting too many free throws. I mean, at what level do you not understand that over time, over the last, 3 or 4 decades, every great player with the ball in his hands in the NBA that goes to the 10 goes to the line. That's it. They got 3 refs. They call tons of fouls. And if you got the ball and you go to the 10, you're the one shooting free throws. every great player that ever attacked the rim went to the line. A lot. Every single one of them. Don't get me started. And let's face facts. To this day, it's still happening. LeBron James, James Harden. How about Embiid? Embiid touches the ball and goes to the line. I mean, that guy shoots 25 free throws in a game like 15, 20 times a year. The guy scores half of his points at the free throw line. The NBA refs are terrible, and they say they're the greatest in the world. Well, they're the worst in the world, if you ask me then. And they call so many ticky-tack. Today they showed all these videos of him not being touched and going to the line. I mean, that's not surprising to me at all. The calls they make are crazy. But get used to it. Star players go to the line. That's it. If you're a high-priced star player, you shoot free throws every night. That's it. Steph Curry's another one.
Yeah, look, and Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch, there was a few coaches this year who were very loud and vocal about how the fouls were called against SGA. Finch was one of them back earlier in the season. He had a big post-game rant about how you weren't allowed to touch him. You remember Bickerstaff had one for the Pistons as well. So, of course, after last night, they went right to Finch to find out how he felt. Let's just say he knows it's the playoffs and he wasn't going to say anything too crazy.
Because you sense some of the frustrations that some of your players had with some of the calls that Shea was able to draw.
Yeah, there was a lot of frustration out there, but we talked about that before the series started, and we have to be able to kind of put that aside and get on with the next play mentality. So.
Listen, you know what that means in Portuguese? And Edwards didn't have a good night, and he didn't get any calls, and he didn't go to the line because he had such a crappy game because the Thunder played him lockdown style. Welcome to hell, okay? He goes to the line as much as Alexander does. That's just all there is to it. When isn't Anthony Edwards standing at the line talking shack to other players about how, he got fouled? No, you didn't. Nobody even touched you. He'd be like, son, you're tripping. You see him, he talks right to him. He's like, you're tripping, boy. Like, you tripping, boy. I'm up here knocking down free throws, son. They all get to the line. He didn't get to the line last night. Whose fault is that? His fault.
Well, yeah, part of the reason why he didn't get the line is because he didn't shoot all night. So
because he couldn't.
You were talking, the suffocating defense that Oklahoma City was bringing to the table. Let's hear from Ant now. Talking about that, he realizes he probably needs to shoot the basketball more.
I definitely got to shoot more. I only took 13 shots, but I'll say probably just get off the ball a little more, play without the ball. I think that'll be the answer because playing on the ball, they're just going to double and sit in the gaps all day. So got to go watch some film and pick it apart. We'll figure it out.
I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he needs to change his lid, from game to game. He keeps wearing that Braves hat, and it might not be doing him any justice, man. You got to clean up on that, son. You got to have different drip every day.
Got to get the Braves hat out of there. But he's right. Like, at least he understands. Like, he's not going to be able to just take the ball up because they're just going to bring two guys on him. I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to have two guys go right on top of him. He's got to do the kind of stuff that, how does Curry always get open? I know Curry's, his own player, but
coming off screens.
He runs around, he comes around the back, he gets away from people, and it's catch and shoot. And Ant's going to have to probably do a little bit more of that in this series if he's going to get buckets.
It's not that hard to come off screens, to dive, to swing. You can swing around a screen, stay out on the wing, or you can go to the elbow and dive down to the baseline. Curry does all that better than anybody.
He certainly does. You were saying we were going to find out who wins the MVP. I think we just did, and I will tell you when we come back. You were right before.
Gee, I wonder who it could be.
Wonder who it's going to be that won the MVP.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series where they rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too strong a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I think the way they play defense and create turnovers and get stops and then buckets off stops is why Jay Will is so good, and it's why they're so good. I mean, look at the numbers of their turnovers that they're averaging and the points off turnovers, Mike. And if you give up those kind of numbers every night playing them in a playoff series or otherwise, that's why they won 68 games. Teams just turn the ball over against this defense, and it leads to easy dunk buckets.
They had 31 points off of turnovers last night. They're averaging 24.7 points off turnovers in these playoffs. That would be the highest points per game off turnovers in the NBA playoffs since 1998.
Mike, that's like
so
it's like having another scorer, a guy that averages 25 a game.
Yeah, it really is what it's like when you take advantage and you play that kind of smothering D. It does happen for you. Jalen Williams is the second player in OKC playoff history to have 15-plus points, 5-plus boards, 5-plus dimes, 5-plus steals, all in a game. Westbrook was the other. He'd done it 4 times for the Thunder, and now Jalen Williams. And SGA was pretty close, right? He needed 2 more steals, and he would have did it too last night. He just needed the 2 more steals. And they would have had 2 guys do it. SGA has won the MVP, by the way. Not that we didn't think he was going to win the MVP, but now it's, I guess, going to be official. At least that's what Shams Charania says, that he's won the MVP. So congratulations to SGA.
What a revelation.
Well, I know people will. I've seen all the number crunchers, and I get it. Joker had the best statistical season maybe ever, but he's not going to win this year because he's won already a bunch. So that's why he's not going to win.
So let me ask you this question. So they announced every award in basketball already, and they waited to announce this, and they would have already done it in past seasons. It would have already been released. Do you believe that they waited to see who won Game 7 before they made their decision, even though it's a regular season award, and you think it was rigged?
Well, those are sealed ballots. Once the regular season ends, it should have nothing to do with it. It is a little bizarre that they didn't do it when they normally do. I don't know why they waited.
Because they waited
longer.
For this.
I guess. So now they could do the big I guess, pregame presentation now tomorrow night before game number 2. And they can give him his trophy right there in the crowd.
Yeah, of course.
Get him all gassed up. Get everybody all fired up to see him win the MVP. Listen, and he had a hell of a year. SGA. It's deserving.
Meanwhile, Joker's right now in a bed with 4 women in his underwear, and he's got beer spilled all over himself. Right. And he's eating Cheetos, and he's getting relations going at a high clip.
He just played the 7th at Aqueduct on his phone. He just played the 7th race at Aqueduct. He's got every track in the world in front of him, and he's getting involved with all of that. As far as the series now for these two, with the Thunder up 1, minus 750. T-Wolves plus 530 down a game in this series. So from 300 to 530.
I mean, for me, it's just a matter of how much do you want it? I mean, do you want to win it all? Then you just keep playing this kind of defense and the series is over. I mean, if they create 31 points off turnovers and average 24, anywhere in the middle of that sandwich is a win. In my opinion, you cannot give up 31 transition points off turnovers and expect to win games against a team with a great defense. So for me, if the Thunder play defense every night like they are now, they're going to win the NBA championship. Forget about this series. They'll wipe out the T-Wolves and then they'll go win it all. And I'm not saying this based on last night. I'm saying this based on this is exactly who they are and have been all year. They've been destroying every team in the league all year. What did they lose to the East? Twice? Yeah. They lost 2 games to the East the whole season. They're going to destroy everybody. That defense of theirs is 31 points. Christ, that's like having Michael Jordan play for you. 31 points. That's like Larry Bird. Like having a guy... It's 31 points. Tack on that to your because if it was a close game, they won by 26. Why do you think they won by 26? Because they had 31 effing points off turnovers. Game over.
Still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Pawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
that's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times. But screw the Celtics.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What?
How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.